Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little video on repairing, refurbishing. These are RYOBI 40V batteries. They are an older one. They're 4026s, the 94 watt hours, which equates to like 2.3 amp hours or 2.5 amp hours. These are my dad's batteries. He's had them, you know, since he got the tools many years ago. So these are like OGs. I've got 4 of these. The BMSs are crap in them. They only show half voltage. I've torn one of these apart already and fixed it. Initially, number 6 of the pack, number 6 cell, the 2 batteries were low in every freaking one of these. You know, like if all the other cells were at 3.5, these were at 2.5. So apparently, from what I found out, when that happens, the BMS locks the battery out, and when you go to charge it, it shows up as a failure, battery bad, or bad battery, or whatever. Even after disassembling it and charging just those individuals to match the rest, resetting the boards, they would work, but then they would quit working again. So I got tired of messing with them. And in this video, I looked around on eBay and I didn't see anybody doing the exact same thing I'm doing. There's a lot of videos on these where people harvest the cells out of them and, you know, use them for other, you know, uses. These aren't the 4 amp hours or any Wild G cells. These are only, like I said, 2.3. So they're not that great, but it works for him. He likes them. They're useful. And the only thing bad in them is the BMSs. Unfortunately, you can't just swap the BMS. You got to do the whole thing. So here's what I did. This is one of the bad ones. This is a conversion, or a, you know, I think they call them a case kit or something like that is what I think it, but yeah, it's basically the guts of the cells out of one of these redone with a new BMS, and there you go. It works like a champ again. Again, this is not a how-to, this is a how I do. So watch this. You can use some of the information if you want to do this. You know, I'll kind of blow over some of the stuff, but I'll show you how I did it, and hopefully you can save your batteries, or at least it'll give you some information as to what's going on with them. So I'll have links in the bottom in the description about where I got this stuff. So basically, we're going to harvest the cells out of here. I've purchased these case kits, and it comes with a new BMS and all the, you know, BMS leads to plug in here and here, and all the case materials, the locks, the springs, all that stuff is all in here, and we'll go over that. But the first thing you got to do is put the good one aside. So first thing you got to do is obviously tear these apart, and you're going to have a tamper-proof Torx bit, not the right one. Right one, a T9 for the bottom. So you want to whip these out, discard. Cat throwing up. That's a T9. Top one. It's T15. Buzz through this real quick. like I said, these are only like 2.5 amp hour packs. They're not like super great or anything, but they work for what my dad's using them for. And so we got the pack opened. Kind of show you what's going on with these. You see the output is 19, 17. It waffles around. If you go to the T terminal, you get full pack voltage. If you go to the main positive, which is here, and this is the main negative here, the pack is at 30. Pack is at 36.37. On the other side of the shunt, it's at 36.37. Down here, 36.37. This is the FET, power FET, 1903. So, I don't know. Like I said, anyway, I don't have any time to screw with it. And as far as I'm concerned, the BMS is shot. Some of these look like they have water damage on them. I'm not sure. So we're just going to tear these apart and be done with it. Just pop it out here. Throw this away or keep it. So there's your pack. You should verify your cells, make sure they're all charged the same. And what we're going to do is basically disassemble this. There are 4 screws. You got to take the FET guard off to do that. Be careful doing this. I'm not going to show it to you because it's basically simply just there's plenty of videos on there harvesting the cells out of these things. You just tear them apart. But just be careful. Don't damage the cells, and don't short them, because obviously these packs are still charged even though the BMS doesn't work. So when I get done tearing these apart and cleaning them up, I'll bring you back and we'll start the reassembly process. Alright, it's the next day, so we're back on our project here, our RYOBI build. Just to recap, we're going from one of these that is no good. They never charge past here, and they don't give out when you put your connectors on the main battery post. It always shows half of the voltage, which is apparently a BMS issue. I've got 4 or 5 of these that have all had the same issues. So what I did is purchase a kit. I've already done one of these before. I purchased this kit off AliExpress, and I'll have the link in the bottom. And basically, you basically tear the RYOBI battery apart, harvest the cells, and replace their BMS with this BMS, hook up the leads, nest the batteries in the appropriate positions, and connect the cross connects over here. Now, I will tell you, I've done one of these before, and this is the second one I've done. Unless I'm missing something, in both kits I've bought, in all the kits I've bought, there's not enough of these. There's enough of these, but I'm missing 2 of these. And I'll show you why. This is the main negative here. So, and they do a good job because this nests right here, and then the main negative goes through the board right there. I can get it. There it goes. It goes right through the board there, and you solder it. Then you weld it down to the battery cells here. So, you got the main negative, and you put one here and one here. Obviously, there. Okay? And then on the flip side, you put, oh, just popped them out. Anyway, on the flip side, now this is the other side of your main negative. So you put one here and one here. And then these two match up. There's B5, which is your fifth cell in series. And these match up right here. Okay? So there's B5, and that's these two. There's a spot for this to go here and go up through the main board, right? That goes right there. And you solder it, and that's your B5 connection. Problem is, there's only two of these right here. So there's enough for either your main negative and your main positive on this side to go through the board and solder and weld down to your cells, or you can do these two. You know, on either side, there's two holes. So like I said, unless I'm completely missing something, and there's no instructions, so we're just going to cover that right off the bat. You got to figure it out yourself. They're missing these, and I'm not sure how they're expecting you to. What I've done in the other one is I've used my own nickel strips, and I've made my connections. I used these in the middle because it made sense and it made it easier, and I built my own out of this stuff for the negative and the positive. So we'll cover that on the flip side. But right now, what we're going to do is, and the other thing, you got to solder this into the board. You have to solder these across here. So I need to do that before I get too carried away. But right now, the pack is assembled, and I've kind of like made myself notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my points for the BMS leads. And this, excuse me, this goes in the middle. Once you're done, this goes like this, and kind of shields the connections from the other side because they're close together. So that pops into these little two here, or these two on this side. It doesn't matter. The factory one had the same deal. The factory one had a piece of mica strip between them. So like I said, you see, I've had to clean these cells up. You can do that with a Dremel. I just used a stone on this one. It worked better than I had the little flapper wheel last time, but just clean them all up, make sure they're smooth and the little tits from the welds not there. And this particular pack is a Samsung INR 18650 13Q. So, like I said, all the cells tested out fine. There's nothing wrong with them. The problem was the BMS. So anyway, I'm gonna start tacking these together and getting everything set up, and I'll just start a time lapse for that and bring you back when I'm done. And we're using the 737DH spot welder to put all these together. All right, so we got that done. Again, I had to make up my own positive and negative leads. They probably could have looked better, but I was trying to do something like this, but you got to fold it, and I didn't want to like double because I wasn't sure I was going to get penetration. Anyway, it is what it is. I screwed up on a couple of these. I think I burnt. I didn't have a good contact, and I burnt through this leg, so I had to put this one on top. And this one didn't turn out the best. This is the way I did it last time with the other cells, with the thin one. And I was trying to use the thicker strip, like on this one. You know, I was trying to do like an L and then go across here, but it just didn't. And that one's another one I messed up on. I had to redo that one because it torched the little leg off. Excuse me, but so anyway, so the two packs are done. This is the way they sit, just like that. These two tangs go through here at B5. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and do my leads for the BMS for each cell. I'll try to put a link to this. This is off the eBay thing I got. It shows you, you know, obviously your cell count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a 10S. And then where you're 1, 2, 3 like that. But remember, these are not sequential. I think I showed this before, but up here it's like B1, B3, B2, B4, then B5, B7, B9, B6, B8. So don't make the mistake of just, you know, plugging these in and going, oh, well, it's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because it's not. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is how it goes. So, yep. So the next step, I'm going to solder these on, get those ready, and I want to solder this on, get that ready, get rid of the spot welder, and get ready to kind of finish this up and put it all back together. All right, so we got everything. We got all the cells installed. We got the cells welded in place correctly. We've got our main negative. The best thing I can tell you as far as I'm concerned about building this is make sure that you set everything up, you know, orientate it however you want, but keep everything orientated the way you decide. So like, you know, I decided that I was going to have my workbench orientated where the BMS is like this. So the negative is over here, the positive is over here, and always maintain your, you know, when you're building these, always maintain them in that. Don't go flipping them around, and or if you do, make sure you put it back to where, you know, if you move something, it's still orientated. That way you don't get, you know, in here I even went so far as I put a little pencil mark in 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I marked the main positive and main negative. To me, it just, you know, hey, if you can do it without it, fine. I just make sure that it's, you know, where it's almost idiot proof. And if I really screw it up, it's just, you know, I did it on purpose. I did it because I wasn't paying attention. So anyways, got all that done. Got our BMS leads wired up. I did them first. I just verified them again. Like I said, remember, these are not in order. It's 1, 3, 2, 4, 5 is here, 7, 9, 6, 8. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. If you flip them around or you go in order and you forget 5 is here and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, you're going to screw it up. So I soldered in the main connection. These were giving me a problem. I don't know why. It just, 2 of them wouldn't flow. This one wouldn't flow and that one wouldn't flow. These 2 are fine. Just, I don't know if it's the temperature in here or temperature on the board, whatever. Anyway, so, all right. Yep, got the cells in, got them built, got your main leads here, got your number 5 leads here, got your BMS connected, got your BMS. We've got the cover plate, which we can install here. It just kind of form fits. I think it'll fit wherever. You could put it on this one or this one. I don't think it really matters. There's little, no, it does matter. I just fricked that up. Hang on a second. Idiot. Anyway, there's little channels for the BMS wires to go into right here. So make sure you got those in before you go smashing the. There you go. They're all coming out, same spot. Route it fine. If you really want to do this the right way, you get a little piece of Tapcon tape, stick it in there, and wrap it around there, but whatever. Anyway, so that'll fit like that. Good to go. So the only thing left is to mate it, and you just have to make sure that these wires, like I said, if you want to do a little Tapcon tape, that would be helpful. Anyway, all right, so we're going to load this up. I'll put the positive on there. See the BMS is lighting up. This is not going through there correctly. This is not going through there correctly. Oh, come on. There's always one joker. There we go. All right. Make sure we get our wires right. That down, that down. You'll see the light flashing over here. It's just because you're making contact with the B5, B negative, and B positive. Remember, always be positive. All right, so take a moment, check your pack. Is it right? The connection's right. Positive's going through. Your both B5s are going through. Your BMS leads are there. They're not pinched. They're routing correctly. Looking here. Make sure they're not pinched. Not pinched. Not pinched. Make sure it's fully depressed. And I put my soldering iron up. I don't know why I did that. Standby. Waiting for the soldering iron to heat up because I'm a moron. I guess I didn't realize or think that I had to solder this stuff. Stupid. Brainless. Okay, we're back. So make sure your board is fully seated and there's no wire stuck under it where it's, you know, teeter-tottering and it's fully planted. And so now we're going to start making the connections on the board. So we've got to solder the B negative, the B5, and the B positive. And then we'll plug in our BMSs, our BMS lead. I'll hit that and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay, we're back. So we got everything soldered. We'll shut off the soldering iron. Hopefully I'm done. And there we are. Completely done. Got your B minus, got your B5s, and your B positives. Always be positive. And so you can see the BMS is working. We're at 3 bar. I know this pack wasn't fully charged. Always pull out the handy dandy 38.8. And you remember on the other one, the old one, we were getting like 19, I think is what it was. So what we got now? The only thing we got left is to assemble this thing, the case, and we have a sticker, and we have screws. So we have a spring, which goes for this thing, the lock. Got 4 long screws and 2 short screws. Oop, I was about to say there's supposed to be 4 short screws. There they are, they're in the bag. Dummy. So we need to get this in. Here comes the cat on cue. Now this, I remember I struggled with it last time. This goes like this, in, all the way down, and in. If you just drop it in like this, it's still up. It's not all the way in here. So you have to pick it up and this way, drop it in. Because I did that on my last one, and the spring in this plate, I was like, why is this not fitting right? And it's just because it has to go in and then down. So put your spring on there. So this goes like this. Hold it, push it. Grab an itty bitty screw, put it in the itty bitty hole. Get your itty bitty screwdriver and send her home, and don't overdo it. I would suggest not using an Ugga Dugga gun. Just use regular hand tools. There you go. Check, make sure it works. Works. So we got the bottom. Make sure there's nothing in it. No screws or rogue pieces of whatever. All right. Verify how it goes. It goes like that. I think it'll go. Will it go both ways? No, it won't. Okay. It'll only go one way. So there you go. So connectors that way, just like we set up the workbench. Okay, now you've got to get in here and get your charge board started, and it has to go down past there and get down past this button. It'll hang up. You think it'll be all the way in there, but it won't be. It'll go in, and you'll be like, oh, it's firm, and then you just kind of wiggle it, and it'll click. It has to click behind this button. So you see the button works. So you're good to go. Make sure this is down. Make sure this is tucked. Everything looks good. Do a couple Hail Marys. Make sure the ribbon cable is out of the way. Kind of push it in. That. That's in. That's in. There it goes. Click. And you got 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. You put in with your itty bitty screwdriver. It doesn't fit. Oh. Stand by. The little ones are Phillips. These are Torx. Hold on. And we're back. You will need to invest in a set of security bits to get the old ones apart. I'm sure you saw me take them apart. I thought the other one was Phillips, but I guess not. Anyway, it's a good kit. I don't have a problem with it. The only thing I have a problem with is the missing, like I said, unless I'm completely bonkers and missing something, both kits and all these kits, I have 3 more sitting over there. They all have the two single paracels for the B minus, B plus, or the B5 section, and I don't understand why they would go through the entire deal of, you know, doing all of those bits and then shorting you too. And you know, I don't know. It's a pain because you got to make your own. Like I said, unless I'm missing something. If you've done these or understand or figure out that I'm doing something wrong, comment below. But I mean, the packs work, so I don't think I'm way off my mark. All we gotta do now is put on the sticker. Stuck the sticker. So we got it all together. The lock still works. Start this in here. Make sure it looks good. And voila! New RYOBI 40V. So if you have one of these that is no good, that only charges halfway, I know on 4 of these, the issue was, I think it was it was these 2 cells. It was the 2 cells here on 3 of the packs. It was, yeah, it wasn't 5, it was 6. It was these 2. For whatever reason, they were lower than the rest of the cells. Not, I mean, not dead, but they were, you know, these were, say 3 volts, and these were 2.25. And so the BMS locked out and wouldn't charge. Even when I charged these up, they wouldn't charge. So anyway, I got tired of futzing with it. There's forums about how to fix these stupid things. You know, the BMSs in here, you know, reboot them, restart them, whatever. It didn't work. I tried it on 2 of them. I thought it worked. I gave it back to my dad. They worked, but they wouldn't charge completely still. So I was like, screw it. I'll just get this kit and redo them. So obviously, I think these were my dad's is the Gen 1s. I noticed that this BMS is different from, there's this one, a newer one, and I think even a newer one. So this was like Gen 1, I believe. And, you know, obviously they changed it for a reason because they probably figured out they had problems. But anyway, I got this one to do, and I got 2 more to do to get his fleet of batteries back. And so, yeah, like I said, I'll link to the kit. I know you can find them on eBay. I bought one off eBay, and then I bought 4 of them off AliExpress just because it was cheaper. And yeah, but like I said, hopefully this was helpful. I couldn't find any video on eBay or YouTube. Couldn't find any video on YouTube showing how to, take one of these and put it in one of these. I saw there was a harvesting video one of the guys did about taking the cells out of these, but he was using them for something else. So yeah, good second life. I mean, they work. I'm happy with it. I think it was worth the money. I mean, it was definitely an experience. If you don't have a welder, you can get one of the cheapy welders off of Amazon, or you could even. I mean, I'm pretty sure the way this goes, you could just solder it. I don't know if I might try that on the next one. Maybe I'll record that, but I don't know. The welder works so well. But yeah, hopefully this helps you. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Throw some comments in the comment section. I'll try to link to this. This is off of the eBay listing. I just kind of blew it up. Kind of shows you where your taps are for your BMS. Like I said, just remember when you're doing it, take your time, label everything. Like I said, I set mine up, like this on the workbench, so I orientate everything the way it's going to be, and I keep everything orientated the same way. That way you don't, end up flipping your packs or, putting your cross connect welds in the wrong spot. And I label everything. That's the biggest thing I would say. If you're not like a professional with this stuff, just take your time, label everything, check, double check. But yeah, so anyway, good project. I enjoyed it. I know my dad enjoys getting these back. He's already got one, so now like I said, I got the other one to do. He's got 2 more. So I think there'll be 4 or 5 of them. I think he might have another one that, is no good. So it's kind of a shame. The BMSs take a dump, but the cells are still good. And also, if you have some cells, hey, there you go. If you have extra cells laying around, 18650s, there you go. You can build your own packs. I mean, it's not that expensive. I think these were like 18 bucks. I don't know, 18 bucks, something like that. Again, thanks for watching. Comment below. Hopefully it was helpful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.